It's always Gold FM for us at Golden Point, Raki Raki.
Gold FM is #1 in Lusaka.
Gold FM is Nandi's best radio station.
It's always Gold FM with us here in Singatoka.
Old is gold and Gold FM is #1 here in Lautoka.
Singatoka loves classic hits on Gold FM.
We listen to Gold FM here in Tagua.
We love Gold FM in Bang.
We've got beautiful beaches, people, and Gold FM in Raki Raki.
Lautoka loves the classic hits on Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
In this bulletin, police raid Nandi business and arrest man who allegedly received drugs in the mail. PM tells Health Ministry to pay for pregnant women's transport from islands to Suva. And Professor Biman Prasad resigns from USP, likely to become new National Federation Party leader. Good evening, welcome to FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. A Nandi-based company that produces stimulants and physical enhancement supplements for export overseas has been sealed off by the customs and police officers following a drug raid on Saturday. This comes after a suspicious envelope was discovered in the mail at the Nandi Airport Post Office last Friday. A 39-year-old Nandi man was intercepted when he arrived to pick up the envelope. Akusita Tale has more on the story.
The envelope is alleged to have contained 408 grams of a mixture of energy supplements and cocaine. It was sent from Hong Kong directly to Energy Supplements Fiji Limited, a Nandi-based company located at the HLB house just outside the international airport. Saturday's drug raid apparently found other allegedly illegal substances.
Currently, the preliminary stages of investigations are continuing, where we can confirm that there were other alleged drugs that were confiscated from the premises after the raid, which we are now awaiting analysis reports.
FBC News was at the premises today with a team of police officers investigating in a room containing boxes, freezers and even a playhouse for kids. Energy Supplements has been renting the location since 2007. However, property owner and neighboring tenants say they were not aware of their operations.
We'll have to await the outcomes of the investigations before we can truly ascertain as to how long the activities or the alleged activities had been taking place at the premises before we can comment.
Meanwhile, a statement released by FERCA CEO Chitoko Tikolebu says the involvement of locals in illicit drug smuggling is becoming a great concern.
At this stage, a 39-year-old man is in custody under interrogation. We probably will be able to say more after the questioning phase is completed.
As the investigation continues, the Cornivia Research Station is analyzing the suspect white powder and other allegedly illegal substances discovered at the premises. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama has directed all government ministries and departments to shoulder policies which require money from the people. While on Vatoa Island in the Lao group, concerns were raised on policy requiring women to give birth in hospitals. However, villagers are concerned at the cost they must pay to travel to a hospital. A return trip to Suva costs around $1,000 for expectant mothers and their husbands, with more money needed for their stay. Apisalamidaka reports.
A heated discussion arose on Vatoa Island during a Talanoa session with the Prime Minister, with villagers claiming the Health Ministry is stopping their women from giving birth on the island, a costly burden for the people.
Mr. Prime Minister, I want to raise a concern to you, especially for us living away from Vitilevu. This is because of our young married couples. It seems having babies is no longer priority, because their wives are to be sent to Suva to give birth. First, they have to live back their families for the whole duration until their wife gives birth in Suva. This has affected our school roll.
Our firstborn is always best to be looked after at our hospitals because of health issues that we need to monitor. Example, high blood pressure. Second and third should be looked after here. If there is no problems with the second and third, then we can have the fourth looked after here as well. But the fifth child and beyond has to be looked after back at our hospitals because of health issues that we also need to look into.
But today, from the first to the last child, it is all looked after at hospitals. It is a burden to us because of money that we need to save up to go to Suva.
We understand what the doctor is sharing with us. The reason we are asking ourselves, can our nurse look after our women if they give birth?
All nurses can operate on our women when they give birth. I mean all nurses that come out of nursing school. If your nurse can't handle that, then you people need to let us know so we can look into it.
The Prime Minister then intervened and directed the Health Ministry to look into the issue and see that they pay for their transportation, as it is the ministry that wants them to be brought to Suva.
Internationally, health departments are very serious of how our women give birth because of infections that can occur if they give birth in our villages or miscarriage. This is why the Health Ministry wants our women to be looked after well when they give birth. But I am aware of your concern.
We also have a program that we support our mothers look after their children. If our women at 7 months are checked out at health centers or hospitals and are confirmed to be pregnant, then we will give her food vouchers for 7 months until she gives birth or for the month after. If she is confirmed that when she is just 2 months, then we also give her food vouchers until she gives birth.
Bainimarama is also working with the Maritime Safety Authority of Fiji on reducing costs associated with the maritime travel. Apisalome Doka, FBC News.
The National Federation Party has hinted there is likely to be a leadership change at the party's annual general meeting and convention in Nandi this weekend. NFP President Raman Pratap Singh has indicated there is a possibility of academic professor Biman Prasad leading the party. Chanel Sivan with this exclusive story.
Do you think the party would be happy having Mr. Prasad as that leader?
We have no problem with that.
Party President Raman Pratap Singh strongly suggesting that University of South Pacific's Professor Biman Prasad could be one of the strong contenders to the new party leader this Saturday.
It is the same party, no doubt, but with a new look, with this development in our politics, in our economy and all that. So it's a new look National Federation Party that you will see this Saturday.
What new look will it be?
I mean, the new faces, obviously, there will be new faces in the leadership.
Singh also says NFP will not breach the political party's decree by including any unionists in the party.
I can clearly say, because the political party decree prohibits that, and clearly say no unionists will be taking, getting any appointments in the party itself, because it's prohibited.
And what about the affiliation of Mr. Attar Singh?
Again, no comments at the moment.
Singh also admits he will be an NFP candidate for the general elections. Meanwhile, we can reveal today that Professor Biman Prasad of the School of Economics at the USP has resigned. This was confirmed to FBC News by USP Vice Chancellor Professor Rajesh Chandra this morning. Professor Chandra, in accepting Professor Prasad's resignation, acknowledged his contribution to the university and wished him well and success in future endeavours. Prasad's resignation is effective from June 30th. Professor Biman Prasad says he will not comment on his resignation or his proposed leadership challenge. Meanwhile, NFP has confirmed that former Vice President Ratu Choni Manroiwiwi will be the keynote speaker at the party's AGM this Saturday. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
Still to come on FBC News, British visa services outsourced.
ओल्ड टाउन टावर में इट्स ओनली मिर्ची एफएम. मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट.
ताकि हर घर में खाली मिर्ची एफएम बजे. मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट.
बेस्ट साउंड, बेस्ट म्यूजिक, मिर्ची एफएम रॉक्स एंड रिकॉर्ड.
नानी का नंबर 1 स्टेशन है मिर्ची एफएम. मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट.
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स नंबर 1 इन नर्सरी.
मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट. हम लोग मिर्ची एफएम रोज सुनता है. मिर्ची एफएम जागो मामा. मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट.
देश की धड़कन रेडियो फीजी 2 इज नंबर 1 इन सिंगटोका.
मैं लंबासा के निवासी, मेरा नाम प्रेम चंद्रा है. देश की धड़कन रेडियो फीजी 2 को मेरा सलाम.
नैंडी में देश की धड़कन रेडियो फीजी 2.
रेडियो फीजी 2 में देश की धड़कन मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है.
रेडियो फीजी 2 इज नंबर 1 इन सिंगटोका.
नैंडी में मेरा धड़कन है रेडियो फीजी 2.
हम ननुपुर की रहता है और हम रेडियो फीजी 2 हरदम सुनता है.
हमें रेडियो फीजी 2 सुनो बहुत अच्छा लगे. आप भी रेडियो फीजी 2 सुनो.
देश की धड़कन रेडियो फीजी 2.
Welcome back to FBC News. A Fiji-born British Army soldier has been awarded the Queen's Commendation for Bravery for aiding 9 colleagues caught in a fatal roadside bomb blast in Afghanistan. 36-year-old Sergeant Sayasi Nukuvono of the 2nd Battalion, Royal Regiment of Scotland, was on his way back to base after a patrol in the Nares Saraj district of Helmand when an improvised explosive device was triggered by a Mastiff vehicle. The Mastiff was behind Sergeant Vono's vehicle and the blast caused serious injuries to all 9 soldiers aboard. 3 of them were later confirmed killed in action. BBC News reports Sergeant Vono directed other soldiers to cover him as he led them down to what remained of the vehicle and coordinated the removal of the casualties. He carried one of the wounded on his back across more than 100 meters of uncleared ground to safety. Sergeant Vono's citation said he showed inspirational leadership. A new UserPay UK visa application centre opens on Thursday in Tapu City. It is being provided by VSF Global, which operates similar commercial visa centres across Asia Pacific and means an additional charge for those seeking visa to the United Kingdom. General Manager Robin Mitchell says the new privately run centre will ensure that customers in Fiji have easy access to the service. However, they will have to pay an additional fee of US $100. The centre will be open every Thursday from 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m.
It's still the same process. You still have to pay your fees online, book your appointment. Just what our services will allow you to do is you'll be able to also track your applications with us, and it'll upload the process a bit faster, so hopefully the turnaround for the visas will be a lot less than what it's usually been.
Each year, around 700 Fijians apply for UK visas. Pacific Sun is well on track to expanding its fleet. The airline will lease an ATR 72-600 aircraft to add to the 2 ATR 42-500 and 3 DHC Havilland Twin Otter aircraft it already has. Ritika Pratap reports.
The new ATR 72-600 will be leased for 12 years from Singapore-based Aircraft Aviation PLC. It should be here by June.
We're working quite comfortably towards introducing the aircraft. We're working well with the authorities here, and of course a lot of work internally to get prepared for this aircraft to be introduced in our fleet.
Fiji Airways will use the new ATR 72-600 extensively, and new destinations around the Pacific will be announced in due time.
We've already announced the Suva RPAs, to Samoa, increase our frequency to Tonga from Suva, and use the ATR out of Nandi into Vila, Apia and Tonga. And of course we will be using the ATR on the Suva Nandi, Suva sectors as well.
The state of airstrips have been a concern often raised by Pacific Sun. However, Voss says there has been an improvement over the years.
We have a very good working relationship with AFL where there are issues that need to be attended to. They've been very good with it. So I'm pleased to say that we're not having we're doing quite well in terms of airstrips.
Pacific Sun will be rebranded to Fiji Link at the same time as the new fleet arrives. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Today is World Tuberculosis Day, and this year's theme is Together We Can Beat It. With 269 TB cases reported, the day reminds every Fijian to do their part to put an end to TB. Sanal Sivan reports.
Don't smoke, don't drink, because that's how it's going to affect your lungs.
TB patient 19-year-old Temo Collins has been treated at the PJ Tuomi Hospital in Tamavua, Suva for the past 2 months. His advice to young people now is to stop smoking and drinking before it's too late.
I was noticing that I had short of breath, so I went down to CW, super private, for my x-ray, and they transferred me here. But once I got here, and then doctors told me that I had TB, so I went into hospital, got treatment.
Collins, who was a bartender, says his family and friends have been very supportive.
They come here every weekend, and then they go back, so I'm proud.
The PJ Tuomi Hospital was built in 1969 here in Tamavua. Currently there are 15 patients, all of them are men, and there are plans to close the female wards.
In 1987, in Japan when I went there, at the time they were predicting that TB would have been eliminated in year 2000. But before 2000, TB came back. And there were two main reasons why TB came back. One was HIV/AIDS and drug resistance.
Tuberculosis typically attacks the lungs and can also affect other parts of the body. It is spread through the air when a TB-infected person coughs, sneezes, and it can also be spread through respiratory fluids through the air. A special church service was held at the TB hospital today for the patients. Once infected by the TB germs, the infection remains with you until you die. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
Jamie joins us now with sports. How was your weekend?
Well, Amrita, just like every other Fiji rugby fan, it was perfect. And how was yours?
Colin Sau sprinting in the opposite direction to beat the Kiwis. That was epic.
Yep, I think it was also a first for Fiji rugby. Well, the Hong Kong Sevens is up next for Ben Ryan and his boys this weekend. We get the latest from camp after the break.
Today FM is awesome in Ba. We love you, Today FM.
Today FM rocks in the story and I love listening to Today FM.
Today FM is #1 in Thailand.
Today FM rocks in Lotaka. Woohoo!
Today FM is the most popular station in the scene.
We love everything about Today FM here at Golden Point Reki.
Everybody in Singapore loves Today FM.
Today FM rocks in Ba.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Bulan 2 saya Tolu FM, number 2 Raki-Raki.
Bula FM number 2 in Nosor.
Go etawa ke buat ko sa Bula FM nga.
Bula FM number 2 Korbu.
Bula FM number 2 Sawa. Bula FM number 2 Lotoka. Bula.
Number 2 ng Bula FM member.
Bula FM
number 2 NSR in Singapore.
Laut talita ka warong ng Bula FM Lotoka.
Ali akar warong Bula FM number 2 NSR.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.
Welcome back to FBC Sports. The Vodafone Fiji Sevens side won its second tournament of the season when it topped the Tokyo Sevens in Japan last night. Fiji beat South Africa 33-26 in a pulsating final to take the cup. Coach Ben Ryan was delighted with the win, saying it was a concerted effort by all. However, he will in the next 24 hours decide if any replacements are needed.
We obviously did all the, Jennifer did all the medical reports yesterday, last night and this morning, and that combined with sort of my thinking on, tactics and things we might need to do in Hong Kong means that, we might make a couple of changes. It's given me a pretty significant headache because, when a team's doing well and winning tournaments, you want to be careful not to, upset that balance. But at the same time, 5-day turnaround physically is a very big ask, and there's probably a need to freshen it up a little bit.
Winger Samisoni Viriviri, who was also injured in the final, has been given the all clear and should feature in Hong Kong this weekend.
Yeah, I think so. I think it looks like a similar sort of injury to the Maris, and he should be fine for the weekend. And our medical staff did a brilliant job with him overnight as well. So I can't see a reason why we won't be picking him for Hong Kong next weekend.
Meanwhile, skipper Ose Kolini Sau says the onus is now on the team to maintain its form heading into Hong Kong. He adds the win in Japan was achieved through sheer hard work, and more of the same is needed for a repeat this weekend.
We are really excited. I guess people back home will be more excited, and the expectation will be more now after winning Japan. There'll be more expectation for us to perform in Hong Kong. Our goal this season is to win the series, and we are just closing up the points. We hope to try and improve on our mistakes and take one game at a time at Hong Kong.
Meanwhile, despite the win, Fiji remains third on the World Series points table. South Africa leads with 117 points. New Zealand has dropped to second, while Fiji has 95 points. England and Australia round up the top 5. The Fiji Rugby Sevens and Netball sides will not be able to compete at the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow in July. Games Chief Executive Michael Hooper confirmed this in an official letter to the Fiji Association of Sports and National Olympic Committee in the weekend. Fasenok President Reg Sandy appealed for a redraw of the admission of more teams in Sevens and Netball, while the national federations also made submissions to the parent bodies supporting the request to include Fiji at the Commonwealth Games. The Vodafone Fiji Secondary Schools Rugby League quarterfinals kick off in Nandi on Saturday. It's particularly important for those who will be fighting for selection into the Fiji under-19s. As Elena MacDonald reports, those chosen will have the opportunity to travel to Australia in May and play in a curtain raiser for the Fiji Mbati versus Samoa Four Nations qualifier.
Amidst all the hype over schools rugby league quarterfinals, the national under-19 trial at Prince Charles Park is sure to be a thriller.
The Western selection is made up of Ra, Nandronga, Navosa and Nandelo Tokozone. So two of the, it's like a state of origin kind of a match. Yeah, they're going to be meeting each other, and we're going to select a team that is going to be, the selection panel will be made up of the FNRL development officers as well.
With all 5 zones included in the quarterfinals, it also provides selectors with a good bunch to choose from.
No one foresaw that Nasin would come third, and they are the holders of the Colin Love Trophy and also the Mbati Shield, which will be on the grab this weekend. Unfortunately, Nasin is going to be facing the winners from the West, and that is Bar Provincial Bluebird Institute.
The under-15 grade top 8 teams begin Saturday's quarterfinals, followed by under-17 top clashes between Natambua and AOG and Laline Memorial versus Ratunavula. All eyes will be on the under-19s though, who not only have a point to prove to selectors, but need to show the strength required to book a semi-final berth for their team. Elena MacDonald, FBC Sports.
That's it from Sports Tonight. I'll be back again tomorrow with more. Good evening.
The Reserve Bank of Fiji says it has achieved its target of getting 150,000 non-banking Fijians to open bank accounts. Governor Barry Whiteside made the statement while opening the 12th meeting of the Pacific Islands Financial Inclusion Working Group.
Financial inclusion supports development, contributes to an efficient financial system, and enables all members of the community, especially the marginalized and the poor, to improve their livelihoods, and thus empowering them to effectively contribute to the economy.
Whiteside says the 150,000 target was initially set in November 2009 and was part of their Maya Declaration. And we've got weather up next with the lovely Genevieve.
Thanks, Amrita. We had a mixed bag today. Nandi, Lautoka, Ba and Savu Savu enjoyed fine weather in the morning with cloudy weather in the afternoon, while Suva and Lambasa had showers instead. The term mixed bag, of course, refers to changing weather conditions throughout the day. Looking at temperatures, we've got Suva, the jet set town, and Savu Savu on 30 degrees, which happens to be the coolest. Lautoka's on 31, Ba's on 32, where is Ba? There it is, while Lambasa's the warmest on 33 degrees. And last time I checked, it should be around 20 degrees Celsius in Auckland, New Zealand, while in Sydney, Australia, it's 18 degrees Celsius. It's expected to be another mixed bag tomorrow, with fine conditions forecast in the morning, before the cloudiness and showers settle in sometime after lunch. For mariners, southeast winds will be at 10 to 15 knots and up to 20 knots through the passages. And here's our photo of the day, the island of Lau. Look at that. Out of the 60 or so islands that make up the Lau group, about 30 are inhabited. Little fact for you there. You have a lovely evening and join me again tomorrow for another weather update.
Thanks for that little fact, Genevieve. I learned something new today. Now, recapping the headlines. Police raid Nandi business and arrest man who allegedly received drugs in the mail. PM tells Health Ministry to pay for pregnant women's transport from islands to Suva. And Professor Biman Prasad resigns from USP. He is likely to become the new National Federation Party leader. Now to the results of last week's opinion poll. Should Fiji rejoin the Commonwealth if given the chance? 76% said yes. This week we asked, do you think Pio Tuai and Setefano Dakau have revitalized the Fiji Sevens team? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email, citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj, or share it with us via our Facebook page, FBC News. Or if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That's FBC News for tonight. Have yourselves a good evening.
Talita na radio Fiji One na mwirani nondo bonua.
Ando talita kana borrongo na radio Fiji One singa toka mbole ni station ni alumatu.
Ando talita ka bale una borrongo na radio Fiji One station ni alumatu elo toka.
Ando talita ka bale una borrongo na radio Fiji One mandi na station ni alumatu.
Au tulo korbo ando borrongo leve na station ni alumatu na radio Fiji One.
Do borrongo na radio Fiji One na station ni alumatu na mandoi tele.